And you, my lovely, how have you been?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
It's very good. Come and take a seat, my lovely.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what are we doing today, gorgeous?
I don't know. What do you think? I'm thinking blonde around the bottom.
I'm thinking much blonde to get higher.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah?
that'd be nice.
Do,
yeah.
do you want that?
Yeah, I think so, because it could look good, like just when it's down in particular.
Yeah, perfect. And then I'll just lift this up by about half a shade to a shade, not
Okay.
too much. Because if we lift this up too much, I think it could go a bit orange. We don't want that.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'd rather keep it like a nice natural sort of base on the top, and then a really nice blonde through the ends.
Okay, cool.
How do you feel about that?
Too ashy for
A
me.
bit too ashy?
Yeah, because it almost looks grey.
Right. See a
But that's
9?
fine. Is that crazy?
We can do something fun if you want to do something. Okay, so what we have decided to do is do 2 different types of blonde and then a nice natural base on the top. About half a shade to a shade lighter than what she already is on the top. I don't want to go too different to her natural colour because Trish doesn't like to maintain her hair too much. And we don't want to bring her in sort of every 4 to 8 weeks. So I want to keep it nice and natural on top. And then I want to bring it down. So I really like the warm blonde on Trish's hair. I want some lighter bits and some darker bits, so I'm going to play around with 2 different blondes. Okay, so today on my amazing model Trish the Dish, I'm actually going to be using 4 different amazing colours. The first colour I'm going to mix up is the Regroup colour, which I'm going to use 8-0 with 7-1. The reason why I'm using 8-0 is because I just want to lift it up by about half a shade to a shade. And I'm using the 7-1s because I want to keep the regrowth area nice and natural so she don't get roots. So she can basically leave this colour in her hair for about 6 months and then just pop back in and then just have her roots done then. I'm going to be using 6% on this because I do want to get like 1 level of lift. So I'm probably going to use equal parts to this. I'm probably going to use 10 grams of 8-0, 10 grams of 7-1. And then this is 1 to 1.2, so that means I'm going to be using 30 grams of 6%. And I'll meet you guys back here when I'm ready to mix up the other 3 colours. Okay guys, so what I'm doing now is just your basic root tint, okay? And for you guys that don't know what that is, I like to call it a hot cross bun section, where you take a section from the front all the way down to the nape of the neck, and then from ear to ear. And then you just go through section in by section. And I'm literally just painting on about 1 inch to 2 inches worth of regrowth. I mean, now that could vary if you're man or woman, but my inches are normally around that big. Okay, now we're going to mix up a powder lightener with 3% because I don't want to use anything higher than 3 because I don't want to damage the existing hair. So I'm going to use powder lightener and 3%, and that's just for like the lightest blonde we're going to use. I'm also going to use a 10-3 with 9% because I really want to lift up some of that hair and make it nice and gold. And then I'm actually going to use a 9G with 3% to actually darken some of the hair to give it a nice clean look. And then I'm also going to use a 8-0 with tone lotion just to blend in all my colours really.
Camp it away.
See?
Yeah, just camp today. I actually. Yeah, he's so cute. He went to skateboard camp yesterday. Cute. So what about the tinfoils?
Use this instead now. Okay, so today I'm actually using quite a wide paddle because Trish does actually have some really lush thick hair. And if I use a small paddle, it's just going to take far too long. So I'm literally just painting on here the powder lightener with 3%. And all this is going to do is just lift it nice and gently without damaging the hair too much. And now in this middle section here, I'm just going to use a flat 8N80 with tone lotion just to colour that in there so you don't get any lines. And it does look a little bit purple there, but it won't look like that when the colour develops. Again, also when you are working with balayages and things, personally I never section with straight lines because you never want to see obviously a line in the colour. So as you can see here, my section ends are always in a zigzag. Just so that it really breaks up the colour while you're applying it when you're using a board. It's also very important to keep your board nice and clean, so you don't put on any of this colour on areas that you don't want the colour to be on the hair. So again with the balayage technique, most of the time you are working in V's, and you'll always learn that if you ever do go on a balayage course. It's always in V's, normally actually a lot smaller than the V's I'm doing, but I really want to make Trish Ladisha's hair really quite striking and really obvious that we've really done a nice balayage on her hair today. We're not really going for the natural look on the ends of Trish's hair today, but we are going for the natural look on the root area. Hence why I've kept the colour on the roots very, very close to a natural colour. Now guys, this is very, very important when you're working on people's hair that don't like to visit the hairdresser very often, you know? Why colour their root area and make them come in after 4 to 6 weeks when they can come in, say, 4 months later? To me, it just makes no sense. So as you can see, I'm using freezer bags. Now this is something I actually learned on my first course at Balayage. A guy named Alex actually came up with it. He's an amazing guy, an amazing colourist, might I just add. And I really like using freezer bags actually, because you can see the, how the colour takes underneath. And it's just an easy, simple way to separate all the hair. It's just too easy. Just coming to the end of the colour. So as you can see here, I've got my 4 different colours. I have my powder lightener with 3%. I have a 9-3 with 3%. I have a 10G with 9%. And a 8N with 8G and 6%. And obviously I explained what I did earlier on at the root area. So now I'm just working on the sort of mid lengths on the ends throughout the whole hair. And now I've just finished it all off. I'm going to leave it on probably for about 20 to 30 minutes, but obviously checking it every 5 to 10 minutes because we do have bleach on them ends, and obviously we don't want to damage the hair too much. So as soon as I've reached all this out, guys, I'll bring you back over here and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the haircut. Just washed off the freezer bags. I'm loving the result we have at the moment. As you can see here, I have some really lovely light blonde colours, some gold tones in there. And I also have a lot of natural base, which is very important for a balayage to keep her sort of regrowth down to a minimum. So what I'm going to do now is wash this off with a colour safe shampoo. I'm going to treat it, I'm going to condition it, and then I'm going to see you back over the chair for the amazing cut. Okay guys, so we've just washed the colour off. I absolutely love the results from what I can see right now, but as you all know, we can't really see the exact colour until we get it dried. So now I'm literally just going to trim up Trish's ends because we're loving the length and we really want to grow it a little bit longer. So I'm literally just going to take a tiny bit off the ends and then we're going to give her an awesome blow dry. So I'm literally just trimming it. So I'm just saying we're about 1.5 inches off. Is that okay with you, Trish?
Oh,
just
yeah,
about that much there. Is that okay?
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think it'll look really nice actually.
So we just finished the haircut and lovely Trish the dish. Now I'm just going to pop a leave-in treatment in there. Now with Balayage, less is more for sure. You don't need to use too much. It's a very highly concentrated range. So I literally use just 1 pump like that. Rub it in your hands. Then apply it through the mid-lengths and ends to begin with. And then I always like to just give a little bit of a massage on the client. They tend to like it as well. And then I'm also just going to use a tiny bit of argan oil as well, just on them ends. Again, not much. It's a very highly concentrated product, and we don't need to use a lot of it. Now on Trish, we are going to do a really nice big bouncy blow dry. She's American after all. So I'm just going to use a little bit of volume booster just on the root area around here. I love the smell of this one as well. And this product, I absolutely love this. I use this on probably most of my blow dries here in the salon. I'd say 2 pumps will be more than enough. Again, just rubbing it through your hands, starting at the mid-lengths and ends, then running it through the roots. This is like a really light mousse. So do you know how like strong mousses can make the hair quite sticky and sort of tough? Yeah. This will give me the hold that I need, but it also won't be too hard or too sticky. I absolutely love doing these blow dries. Love them. The reason why is because they can last up to like 4 or 5 days sometimes. They're absolutely amazing. But what I like the most about these blow dries is when I use this product. This blow dry just goes hand in hand together. It will last forever and you get an amazing root lift. You're going to see the results in just a few seconds. So I've just finished the blow dry. We're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes and then I'm going to take the brushes out and then I'm going to show you all the amazing colour and cut. Okay, so this is the final brush. Beautiful. Trish, can you just pop your hair back a little bit for me? You know we've got your hair over here, don't you?
Yeah, wherever in the center or on that side.
So personally I like to do a little zigzag parting just because it just creates a little bit more body on the top. Pop your hair back for me. So I'm just going to shake it out a little bit. And as you can see there, that colour is absolutely amazing. I love it. Awesome.
Oh my god. It looks so different. It's amazing.
What do you think?
I love it. I
You like it?
absolutely love it.
Yay!
It looks outstanding. So pretty.
Thank you.
So pretty.
Very
I look like
happy
I
with
belong
it.
in Tennessee.
Very, very happy. Oh, and it goes with the dress so well.